Come down to rest comfortably on your back to begin. We're going to be here for a little while while we examine the abdominal star. So if you feel any tightness in the lower back, feel free to bring your knees into your chest, rock side to side on the sacrum or forward and back, and just bring a little stretch to the lower back before we begin. Also, if your back or your hips don't feel quite comfortable staying still in this constructive rest pose, you can take a bolster, or if you have a roller or a rolled up blanket or towel, and place that behind your knees so that your legs will be extended with some support behind the knees. We do want the back to be in its natural curve, so don't just stretch your legs straight out because that will extend the lower back, but feel free to rest the knees on a roller or a bolster. That will let you have your natural lower back curve and your hips to be more relaxed. So get yourself so that you're comfortable, and we can stay here for a few minutes as we look at the abdominal star. This is just another model, another schema, way of understanding what's happening. We use the belt and the ribs knitting and imprinting. This is, of course, dealing with the same muscles, and it's a similar idea. Sometimes it's just helpful to look through a slightly different lens and change our perspective a little bit. When we do something habitually, it can kind of become a little bit sloppy, and if you're not careful, you might begin to rely on your stronger muscles and not be using the weaker ones as much. So this is just another point of view. Maybe you'll find something here. We're going to picture a big asterisk resting on the belly. The horizontal line goes from hip point to hip point, and that represents the transversus abdominis. So you can take your fingers and touch the hip points and move across that horizontal line. That's going to represent the muscles that we usually call the belt. And then we have the vertical line, which goes from the pubic bone to the base of the sternum. This is the rectus abdominis. And this is the muscle that tilts the pelvis and flexes the trunk. And then we have two sets of diagonals reaching from one rib down to the opposite hip point. So feel on that diagonal. And then from the other low rib down to the other hip point. Feel that diagonal. So picture that asterisk. It has a low center line. But picture the whole thing. And we're going to work with it as though it's resting right on our belly. So we're going to visualize that asterisk on the belly. And first we'll take a moment to work each of the lines independently to make contact there. We'll begin with one of the obliques, part of the X. So let's put our right hand on the low right ribs and the left fingertips on the left hip point. Picture the diagonal line that's reaching down from the right ribs to the left hip point. Take an inhale as you picture that line. And then with your exhale, shrink that line down. And you actually will, of course, feel your right ribs move a little bit. But I want you to imagine the line shrinking all the way down to the left hip. And then relax that with your inhale. Take a relaxed exhale and picture the line again as you inhale. And then exhale, shrink the line from the right ribs down to the left hip. So we're really accentuating one set of the obliques. And then relax. Not one set, actually. One line of pull with the obliques. Relax completely. Do it one more time. Inhale and picture that line from right ribs to left hip point, and then exhale, draw the right ribs down and picture the line shrinking so you can even imagine the hip point coming up towards the ribs. And then relax that. you should hopefully feel some activity all the way down to the pelvis. Let's switch the hands. Bring the left hand onto the left ribs and the right fingertips onto the right hip point. Inhale and picture that line. And then with the exhale, shrink that line down. Might not feel exactly the same as the other side. Observe that. Inhale, relax. Take a relaxed exhale. And then with the inhale, picture that diagonal line again from the left ribs to the right hip. And exhale, shrink those 2 points towards each other. So the ribs actually are moving, but I want you also to imagine the right hip moving up on the diagonal. Don't actually move your bones, just feel that line of pull. And then relax as you do nothing, and do nothing as you inhale. And take a completely relaxed exhale. One more time on that line. Inhale, picture the line. And exhale, feel the 2 points coming towards each other, shrinking the line down. And then relax with the inhale. And release and do nothing. Give into gravity. Now we're going to go to our vertical line. Put one set of fingertips at the very top of the pubic bone and the other set at the very bottom of the sternum, and we're working on the vertical line up the center of the belly. Take an inhale and picture that line. Now without tilting your pelvis, exhale and imagine shrinking those 2 points towards each other. We don't actually want to shorten the muscle, we just want to feel that line of pull. And then relax with your inhale. Do nothing, make sure your pelvis is not moving here. Give into gravity, release. And then inhale, picture that vertical line again. And exhale, feel those 2 points shrinking towards each other. And then relax and do nothing. Now if you feel excess tightening in your shoulders or in your back, do it a little bit less. No extra work. One more time on the vertical line. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, just follow your exhale into that shrinking of the line. And then relax and do nothing. Give into gravity. Move your fingertips down to the front of the pelvis. One hand on each hip point. Inhale and picture that horizontal line. And with the exhale, imagine shrinking those 2 points towards each other. It's a different effort than the other lines. And relax with the inhale. Soften. Release and give into gravity. Prepare as you inhale, picturing that line. And exhale, shrink the distance between the hip points. Feel that horizontal line. And relax completely with the inhale. Release and to give into the floor with exhale. One more time. Inhale, prepare. And exhale, feel those 2 points coming towards each other. Feel the horizontal line. And then release and do nothing. Now we're going to place the thumbs on the low ribs, the fingers on the hip points, and picture the X. So we're going to work with the 2 diagonal lines together. Inhale, picture the X. And with the exhale, shrink the 4 points of the X towards the center. So you're feeling your hip points move up and your ribs move down on the diagonal. Inhale, release. And again, don't actually move the bones, just follow the line of pull. Inhale, picture that X again. And exhale, imagine shrinking the X towards its center. We're maintaining a stable pelvis and lower back. Relax with the inhale. Release and do nothing. One more time, picture the X. And with exhale, shrink the 4 points of the X down to its center. And relax and do nothing. Now take a moment, check in with your hips, make sure you're not clenching in the hips. Your neck and shoulders should be released. Okay, we're now going to go to the combination of the vertical and the horizontal, which make a plus sign. The bar is low because we're putting our horizontal line below the navel. So just feel those 2 lines for a moment, and then place the fingertips on the hip points. Picture that plus sign with the low center, and inhale. And exhale, shrink the 4 points towards that low center. Horizontal and vertical line. And release, soften. And And do nothing with the exhale. Give into gravity and inhale again. Prepare. Picture that plus sign with the low center bar. And exhale, shrink the 4 points into the center. They meet beneath the belly button. And relax completely. Release. One more time. Inhale and picture the plus sign with the low center. And exhale, draw the 4 points, vertical and horizontal lines coming towards the center, shrinking down, and then release. Okay, we're going to return the fingers to the low ribs, the thumbs to the low ribs, keep the fingers on the hip points. We have 4 points since we don't have enough fingers, that's all we can feel. But I want now to picture the whole asterisk. So feel the vertical line up the center, the plus sign, and that low crossbar. Picture the asterisk as you inhale. Notice it actually spreads out a little bit naturally as you inhale. And then with the exhale, shrink the whole asterisk down towards its low center. All of those points coming into the center. And then relax and release completely. Again, if you feel strain in the back or the neck or the shoulders, do it a little bit less. This is isometric, so you can control the degree of intensity. Picture the asterisk, and exhale, shrink it towards its center. And relax. Release. One more time. Inhale, picture the asterisk. Exhale, shrink it towards its center. Now this time, maintain that shrinking of the star and take your inhale. So you may need to put your inhale up high in the chest. That's fine if it's a little short and shallow. Picture the asterisk and re-shrink it with the exhale. And again, maintain it while you take your inhale. And one last time, re-shrink it with your exhale. And then relax with the inhale. So I may use the terminology abdominal star. The star is the asterisk, and we're going to use that now as we move. Inhale, picture the abdominal star and float the arms up to the vertical position. Exhale, shrink the star and reach your arms back behind you, using the star to help stabilize the lower back and pelvis. Inhale, bring the arms back up towards the ceiling. Keep shrinking the star and take a little head lift, maintaining your neutral lower back. Then inhale, place the head down, float the arms up to vertical. Now pause and relax. Soften in the shoulders, relax the abdominal engagement. Inhale, prepare to engage the star again. And exhale, shrink it while you reach your arms back towards the mat behind you. Keeping your neutral lower back, your pelvis is still. Keep shrinking the star as you inhale the arms up to the ceiling. And this time we're going to bring the arms down. Continue shrinking the star until the hands get all the way down to the floor. And release. Okay. Inhale, arms float up. Exhale, shrink the star and reach back. Stabilize your neutral. Inhale, arms float up. And shrink the star into a little head lift. And inhale, head down, arms up. Keep shrinking the star, reach the arms back towards the wall behind you, maintaining your neutral. Inhale, arms float up. And exhale, shrink the star into a head lift. Now keep shrinking the star. Inhale the hands behind the head. Re-shrink the star. We're going to reach on a diagonal. Bring the left elbow towards the right knee. So you're going to feel that line from the left ribs to the right hip. Shrink a little bit more. Inhale into the center. Shrink the whole star and then go on the other diagonal. Reach the right elbow towards the left knee and feel that line accentuated. Inhale into the center. We're going to exhale and lift up a little higher in the center and feel the vertical line increase its intensity. Inhale, lower down halfway, and exhale and diagonal. Left armpit to right knee. Inhale to the center. We're still engaging this star. Shrink the asterisk and reach over to the left knee with the right armpit. Inhale to the center. Shrink the star and lift a little bit higher with the head. Inhale halfway down. One more time each way. Shrink the star. Take the diagonal left armpit to right knee. Inhale to center. Shrink the star and take the diagonal right armpit to left knee. Inhale to the center. Shrink the star and lift the head a little bit higher. And inhale, lower back down. Release the head. Relax the arms. Soften. Relax the star. Give into gravity. And now we'll use the abdominal star as we do our alternate leg lifts. Please place your thumbs on your low ribs, the fingers on the hip points, just to help you monitor what's going on with the stability, and also to keep being aware of those points. So inhale, prepare. Exhale, shrink the abdominal star. All points towards that low center. Maintain the star and float the right foot up off of the floor. We're maintaining while we inhale. Lower down. As you exhale, re-shrink the star. Continue to steady the pelvis and keep it shrinking as you lift the left foot up and lower back down. We're still shrinking the star down, and inhale, lift the right foot up. If you need a break, I want you to take it when your foot is down and re-engage. But if you don't need a break, don't take one. Just re-shrink and lift the left and lower back down. Keep shrinking all of the points towards the center. Picture the whole star. One more time with the right and lower down. Keep picturing the whole star pulling into the center. Don't forget your low line across your hips. We don't want to forget our transverses in the star. And lower down and then relax. Release completely. And we'll take the hands behind the head. Let the elbows open out wide. Inhale and picture the star. It should feel a bit expanded now because the ribs are flaring. Exhale, shrink the star and then lift your head. Keep shrinking the star and inhale, lift the right foot up. And shrink the star as you exhale, extend the right leg out straight. And inhale, bend the right knee and lower the foot down. You're still shrinking the star. Pelvis is stabilized. Keep shrinking it and lift the left foot up. Flex your foot and exhale, reach out. Continue to shrink the star. Bend the knee and re-engage, shrinking the star in as you lower the foot down. And again with the right foot up. Shrink the star, extend the leg out. Try flexing your right foot back to stretch the calf. Bend the knee. You're still shrinking the star and stabilizing the pelvis as you lower the foot down, and then take the left up. Flex your foot, extend your leg out. Shrink the star and bend the knee. Keep shrinking the abdominal star down to the center. One more time with each leg. Right up. Shrink the star and reach out. Flex the foot and bend the knee. Keep shrinking the star as you lower the foot. Stabilize and lift the left up. Shrink the star, extend the leg out. And keep shrinking the star as you bend the knee and lower the foot and bring your head down. Relax your arms. Slowly turn your head from one side to the other, belly relaxed for a moment. And settle the head to the center. Check that the neck and shoulders are comfortable. Exhale and shrink the star. Keep the pelvis stable, the shoulders relaxed. Lift the right foot up. Continue to shrink the star and lift the left foot up. We're going to bring the arms up to vertical. Bend the knees nice and tight in, and then pull that vertical line, bringing the pubic bone into the belly button so your lower back flattens. Now picture the star in this position. It's a little off center. The bottom part of the star is pulled in more than the top of the star. That's fine. Keep shrinking it in, but feel that low intensity. Relax the shoulders as we do the knee circles. Circle around one way. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Feel how the star is changing. If you had a decal of the star on your shirt, reverse the circles, it would be changing its orientation. It would be opening and closing depending on where the legs are. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Reverse the circle again. Picture the star. Notice what's happening to it as it comes around. And then reverse. Keep the shoulders easy. Check that the neck is relaxed. One more time each way. No excess effort, but concentrated effort. And then reverse the circle one more time. If you're feeling tension in the neck, shoulders, jaw, or face, bring that effort into the belly instead. Now pause and relax for a moment. So your back is in a flattened position because your knees are into your chest. Let's place the hand on the knees and gently pull in a little bit more. Now keep the hands on the knees. Rock the knees out away from the torso until you have your neutral spine and raise the feet as high as the knees. We're going to move the hands just to the very front of the thighs by the knees and do an isometric press here. Inhale, picture your abdominal star. Exhale, start shrinking the star and then press the palms into the knees and the knees into the palms. And then relax that press. Soften the star and exhale, shrink the star first and then press hands into legs and legs into hands. And then release. We're still maintaining the neutral lower back. Relax the star. Picture the star. Begin shrinking it and then press the hands against the legs. Press the legs back into the hands. So no movement, but you should feel the intensity of the engagement. And then relax and feel the intensity low in the belly, not in the shoulders. One more time. Shrink the star and press hands and legs against each other. And then relax. Let the feet flop down near the sit bones. Relax the star. Pull the knees in close. Let the lower back go flat. Okay, we're going to take a little break and do the hip circles. Stir your thighs around. You can let the belly relax here. Be sure that the inner thighs, the front thighs are relaxed. No extra tension in the neck and shoulders. Reverse the circles. And then hug the knees in again. Okay, let's come to a neutral tabletop for the pistons. Arms relaxed. Actually, let's place the thumbs on the lower ribs and the fingers on the front of the pelvis. You're used to this exercise, but I want you to think about the star and see if it changes anything for you. Inhale and picture the abdominal star. Exhale, shrink the star and then lower the right foot down. Go slowly down with the exhale. Keep shrinking the star and lift back up on the inhale. Exhale, lower the left foot down and inhale, come back up. Shrink the star, lower the right, and come back up and shrink the star and lower the left and come back up. Now, if you find that you're losing the contact with your back ribs, please add a rib imprint to that star image. Exhale, shrink the star. If you need to, think of the imprint of the back ribs. Exhale, shrink the star. And inhale up. Keep maintaining the star. Renewing as necessary. One more time. Each leg. And then pull the knees into the chest. I'm going to take a little break and do a spinal twist. So let's move the knees over to the left side. Right arm nice and relaxed and give into gravity here. You can let go of the shrinking of the star, but be aware. Feel the diagonal line from the right ribs down to the left hip. And then feel the diagonal line from the left ribs to the right hip. Continue to soften and breathe slowly. And then come to the center. Relax for a moment in the center. And then bring both knees over to the right side. Find a comfortable twist here. Relax the left shoulder. Be aware of those two diagonal lines. Feel the stretch from the left rib down to the right hip. And the right rib down to the left hip. Really relax into the twist. Breathe slowly. And return to the center, bring the knees in. Feet as high as the knees. Picture your star. Exhale and shrink the star. Lower the foot, right foot. And continue to shrink the star, lower the left foot. And pause, relax for a moment. I'm going to reset in the neutral position, so take a moment here, check that you're in your neutral spine. Relax the neck and shoulders. And then inhale again, picture the abdominal star. Exhale, shrink the whole asterisk down towards its low center. Keep the shoulders easy and lift the left foot up. And keep shrinking and lift the right. We'll prepare for the 100. Bring the hands down to the mat at your sides. Press your hand palms down. Re-shrink the star and lift your head. Keep shrinking. Extend the legs out if you like. And pulse for 5 pulses of the hands as you exhale, shrinking the star. And inhale for 5 pulses. You're still shrinking. Exhale, shrink the star. And inhale. Continue to shrink the star, renewing with every exhale and then maintaining on the inhale. Exhale for 5 and inhale. Keep shrinking the star. Drop the shoulders, exhale, renew the star and maintain it with the inhale. You can breathe as high up in your chest as you need to. Inhale for 5. Exhale, keep shrinking the star and continue as you inhale. Exhale for 5 and inhale. One more time. Inhale and bend the knees. Pull the knees into the chest. Rest the head down and turn your head slowly from one side to the other. Return the legs to neutral tabletop position. Picture the asterisk. Shrink it down. And lower the left, keep shrinking, and bring the right down. We're maintaining neutral. When you relax, hopefully no shift in the position of your lower back or pelvis. Give in to gravity. Okay, we're going to do a neutral pelvic lift, hinging at the hips. Let's place the thumbs on the ribs, the fingers on the hip points again. Inhale to picture the abdominal star. Exhale, shrink the star down and use your star to stabilize the torso as you press your hips up towards the ceiling. So the distance between the thumbs and the fingers should not be shortening. And then re-shrink the star and hinge back down. So I want you to feel the difference. We're now going to do a roll, and you're going to feel a difference in the relationship between the fingers and the thumbs. Shrink the star, and then pull on the vertical line to tilt the pelvis. Do you feel that? Your fingers and your thumbs are now closer to each other. And then press your hips up towards the ceiling. Keep the fingers and the thumbs close to each other now. So you're still tilting the pelvis. And then roll down. You're still tilting the pelvis. That distance is still close until you get all the way down. And then finally at the end you release the tailbone down. And you'll feel that distance between your fingers and your thumbs open out a bit. So let's return to the hinge. Inhale. Picture the star. Exhale. Shrink the star. Then maintain your neutral as you hinge at the hips to lift up. And this time we're not closing the distance between the hips and the ribs. Please pay attention because we're going to refer to this idea later. And then hinge back down, keeping that distance. And relax. We're going to do it one more time with the hinge. Picture the star. Shrink the star. We're keeping the neutral spine and hinging at the hips to lift the hips up. And continue to keep that distance between your thumbs and your fingers constant as you lower the hips down. And then relax. Okay, let's bring the right knee to the chest and straighten the left leg out. So just relax in the stretch for a moment. And then relax the stretch a bit. Extend climb the right leg straight up to the ceiling. Support your leg, straighten it out, and then we're going to bring the thumbs to the lower ribs, the fingers to the hip points. Inhale, picture your star. Shrink the star, and then use the star to stabilize as we go 5 times around in a circle. So not only are your hips and ribs not rocking from side to side, the distance between them is never changing. Those 4 points remain equally spaced the whole time, and then reverse. Or I should say constantly spaced the whole time. I don't know if the sides of that square are all the same length, but they can remain in the same relationship the whole time. Okay, as you're done, we're going to keep the right leg straight. Keep shrinking the star and the lower down. All those 4 points remain in constant relationship with each other. And once the leg's down, relax. And then we'll pull the left knee in and relax in the stretch for a moment. So you can let go of the star. And then relax the stretch, or release the stretch a little bit and extend the left leg straight up towards the ceiling. You want to feel your tailbone down on the mat. Get that leg settled. Thumbs on the ribs, fingers on the hip points. Inhale and picture your star. Shrink the star and then circle 5 times with the left leg. Go nice and slowly so that you can really monitor those points. So the hips and ribs are staying steady and stabilized. The 4 points are staying in a constant relationship to each other. No shortening of any of those lines. 5 times one way and then 5 times the other. Now this doesn't mean your shoulders should be tight. Relax the shoulders, relax the jaw, relax your forehead. When you're done with the 5th circle on the second direction, we're going to lower the leg straight down. Keep shrinking the star. The leg is going to try to tilt your pelvis possibly, but you're going to keep shrinking the star to keep the pelvis nice and still. Now I want you to notice when the leg is down, you can finally release the star, and there is going to be a shift in the position of the pelvis. You feel it? The lower back gets a little bit bigger arch. We'll take a moment and relax there. So while we're here, let's do a side stretch. Keeping the back of the pelvis steady on the floor. Walk the feet a little bit to the left. It doesn't have to be too far. We do not want the right hip to roll up off of the mat. Stretch the arms up, and then keeping the back ribs down, walk the upper body towards the left as well. So you're in a crescent shape. We can take the right foot over the left and hold the right wrist. Now inhale, picture your star. It's askew now, right? Exhale, shrink the star. Probably not going to be able to get it completely equal from side to side, but feel what the effort is there. And then relax with the inhale. And exhale, shrink the star. Now don't let the shrinking of the star roll your right side up off of the mat. Do keep the right side anchored down. Relax, feel the star expand. And exhale, shrink the star. Notice here, your right side is open and the left side is compressed. And then come back into the center. Relax in the center. Observe you have a little hyperextension in the lower back, a little lumbar extension. We're going to keep the back of the pelvis steady on the floor and walk the feet a little bit to the right. And then walk the upper body to the right as well. Keep the left hip and the left ribs down. Cross your left ankle over your right foot. Hold the left wrist. Inhale, picture the star. And then shrink it down. So it's still not going to be even, but we can engage it here. Inhale, picture the star. And exhale, shrink it down. We can use the abdominal star in any position. And relax with the inhale. One more time, shrink the star. And relax with the inhale, come back into the center. We'll bring the hands behind the head. Bring your legs together and parallel to each other. Notice here we have an increased lower back curve and your ribs are flaring up off of the mat. Take an inhale and picture your star. It's expanded right now. As you exhale, shrink the star, and with the shrinking of the star, see if you can get your neutral back in place. And then pull the pubic bone, pull that vertical line a little bit more, and flatten the lower back down. And then we're going to do a little head lift. Keep your legs parallel and together. You're shrinking the star and accentuating the vertical line from pubic bone to sternum. Scooping the belly in, and then releasing back down. Let the star open out. Feel the elbows open out wide, the ribs expand. Notice the arch of the lower back. Inhale, picture the star. Exhale, shrink it down to bring the back to neutral first. And then we're going to over-accentuate the vertical line, pull the pubic bone into the belly button. You're still shrinking the whole star, and lift the head up. And breathe while you shrink the star. And then release back down. When you come down onto the back, relax completely. And one more time. Inhale, notice the arch of the spine away from the mat. Exhale, shrink the star to bring yourself into a neutral spine. And then pull the pubic bone to the belly button to flatten the lower back more and lift the head. And breathe. Keep shrinking the star. Keep tilting the pelvis. Slow, full breaths here. And then release back down. Relax the arms down. And one knee at a time. And relax for a moment in neutral. Okay, if you feel like you need to hug your knees in, go ahead and do that. And then we're going to move to the left side. I'm going to come all the way out long on the left side with the feet a little forward of the hips. So again, imagine if you had a decal of the star on your belly as you relax. The star is going to be off center. The top side's a little squished, a little compressed, and the bottom side's a little bit open. So picture that star. And as you exhale, shrink your star and see if shrinking the star can help you recenter the asterix so that the center line is really up from sternum to pubic bone. You have an equal X. You're shrinking the star down to bring yourself and maintain into a neutral. And then maintain that as you lift the right leg up. Be careful that your lifting of the right leg doesn't compress the right waist again. Keep shrinking the star, and let's circle the right leg 5 times each direction, being aware of shrinking the star and keeping the right waist uncompressed. That part of the asterix doesn't collapse. 5 times the other way. Neck and shoulders easy. Keep shrinking the star. Let the star be very well centered in the middle of the belly. Pause. Keep shrinking the star. Then we're going to go forward and back. If you like, your fingertips can come onto the mat. Or you can feel with your thumb on your top ribs, your fingers on the top hip, that those 2 points are staying equidistant from each other, not collapsing. After 5 in each direction, pause with the leg in the center. Shrink the star again. Be sure you haven't collapsed that right waist down. And then keep feeling the star drawing towards its center and being equally dispersed over the whole front of the belly. 2 more times. Shrink the star. And then lower the legs down. Let everything relax. Notice what that does to the star. It kind of collapses towards the floor. Then we're going to re-engage. Shrink the star again. Feel it evenly on the front of the belly. Lift the top leg up. Keep shrinking the star. Now roll the leg out in the socket so your pelvis stays still, but we're externally rotating the top leg. Keep shrinking the star and lift the leg up a little higher. Careful not to collapse the right waist. Flex the right foot and come back down. Keep the star really well centered in the middle of the belly. Point the toe and lift up and flex and come down. We're staying in an external rotation the whole time. Point and lift. Keep shrinking the star. Flex and come down. Twice more. Point and lift. Flex and come down. One more time. And then lower the leg and relax completely. Check the neck and shoulders. And release. Okay, let's bend the knees. 45-degree hip flexion. So the knees are at the front of the mat. Your feet are underneath you. Just a comfortable hook lying position. So we usually do not use the obliques here, or at least I cue you not to use your obliques. We're going to use the whole star just so you can have a different experience of the clamshells. So again, if you picture the asterisk as you rest here, it's a little bit askew. As you exhale, shrink the star, let it recenter itself. You're going to feel that the waist gets lifted, and you can again feel the point, the hips and the ribs, and then maintain that steady distance as you roll the right leg out in the socket. I'm going to do it 15 times in this position. Keep shrinking the star. If you need to pause at any point and reconnect with it, go ahead and do that. And shrink the star. So if you're used to doing this with just the belt portion, notice the difference. Just observe, can you still feel the right buttock as the main operator here? Maybe you're feeling your obliques a lot more because you're not used to doing them here. Just please observe. Keep the pelvis steady. 15 total. When you're done with those, relax. Okay, and we'll go to the other side. I'm going to come resting long on the right side. Feet a little forward of the hips. Relax the neck and shoulders. Release into the pull of gravity. Soften completely. Picture the star. Notice it's a bit askew. And then shrink the star. Bring yourself to a well-centered abdominal star. The asterisk is equal. Thumbs on the low ribs, fingers on the hips, and maintain that as you lift the top leg. And then let's circle the top leg. Go nice and slowly. 5 times in one direction. Keep shrinking the star. Maintain the stability between the ribs and the hips. 5 times one way, then reverse and go 5 the other. Keep picturing the star. Don't let it collapse. And then renew your star. Make sure that you haven't sunk down into the right waist. You're keeping your left waist active, and go forward and back 5 times. Shrinking the star. Maintain the stability of the hips and the ribs. Be sure that the ribs aren't coming forward to counterbalance. 5 times forward and back, keeping the star shrinking to the center. And we'll reset. Keep shrinking the star. And bottom leg up and down 5 times. On the last one, keep the bottom leg lifted. Reconnect with the star. Be sure it's shrinking evenly. Lower both legs down and then lift again. Fingertips on the mat if you want a little extra support. Use the fingertips on the mat rather than tensing the neck and shoulders. Keep shrinking the star. And when you're done with 5 of those, relax down to the mat. Let it all go for a moment. Picture the star. It's a bit askew here. And then shrink it again. So the star is centered and shrinking. We're going to lift the left leg up to hip socket height, maintaining the distance between the ribs and hips. Roll the left leg out in the socket. Keep shrinking the star and lift the left leg up from there without collapsing in your left waist. Flex your foot and come down. Stay externally rotated. Point the toes and lift up. Do not collapse the left side of the star. And flex your foot and come back down. Keep shrinking the star. Point up and flex down. And shrink. Point up. Flex down. One more time. Shrink. Point up. And flex down. And then relax. Take a moment. Release completely. And then bend the knees, 45-degree angle. Place the knees at the front of the mat. Relax for a moment there. Finding this relaxed, released hook line position. Soften the neck and shoulders. Observe what's going on in that top waist. Picture your star. Shrink it. Maintain the shrinking of the star. And 15 times externally rotate the top leg in the socket. Keep shrinking the star. Let that be the point of concentration. A little different experience of the clamshells. Keep shrinking the star. Relax the neck and shoulders. Use the muscles of the left buttock to do the motion. And continue to shrink the star. Reset it every time you exhale. When you're done with 15 of those, relax completely. And then we'll turn to the back. Coming down into constructive rest pose for a moment. Release completely. And again, picture the asterisk. Inhale. Shrink it. Stabilize your neutral. Lift the right leg up. Keep shrinking. We're going to stretch the hips. So we're going to bring the right ankle to the left knee. Continue to shrink and keep your neutral as you lift your left foot up. Now maintain your neutral. We're not shortening the vertical line yet. Extend the left leg up to the ceiling. Support the back of the left leg and then bend the knee. Keep your neutral spine, so we're not flattening the back yet. Stretch up and bend the left leg. One more time. Extend the left leg, reach it up and bend it. Now just pause for a moment. Picture your star. Exhale and shrink it down. Now pull the center line so pubic bone comes to the belly button and your lower back will flatten. And then you can draw the right leg in a little closer so you can support the left leg as we stretch. Relax the legs, soften the belly. Now you can let the effort of the star go. Relax the neck and shoulders. The only thing I want you to be aware of is that you don't rock to the right side of the pelvis. Keep the tailbone in the center. Relax the neck and shoulders. Breathe slowly. Soften the work in the belly. You should feel stretch in the right hip. Easy in the face, the jaw, the neck and throat. If you feel your chin tilting up towards the ceiling, you can place something behind the head to support the neck if you like. Keep breathing, nice slow breaths here. That was a minute. We're going to stay for 30 more seconds. Breathe and relax into the stretch. Now, move back to your neutral spine. So you move the left leg out a little bit. Shrink your star down and lower the left foot down. Keep the star shrinking. Bring the right foot down and relax in neutral for a moment. And then inhale, prepare. Exhale, shrink the star and keep your neutral as you lift your left foot up and cross it over to the right knee. Maintain your neutral and lift the right leg up. Keep your neutral spine. Your star should stay shrinking, and we'll straighten the right leg up to the ceiling. And then bend the knee. And keep the star. Keep your neutral position, so don't let the spine flatten or your back rock. One more time, straighten up. And then bend. Good, now we're going to shrink the star to bring the pubic bone towards the belly button. Let the back go flat, and once the back's flat, relax completely. Soften in the belly, soften in the neck and shoulders. Slow breathing. Check that you're not rocking over to the left side of the pelvis. Be right in the center. Keep easing out the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, the forehead. Keep breathing and releasing. That's a minute, 30 more seconds. Stay with it. Feeling the stretch in the left hip. Now let the legs move out till you feel your tailbone on the mat, neutral spine, shrink the star, lower the right foot, keep shrinking the star, lower the left foot, pause and relax. Okay, abdominal series with the abdominal star. Inhale, prepare, picture the star. Exhale, shrink it, lift the right foot up. Shrink it and lift the left foot up. Maintain that star. Lift the head. Single leg stretch. Extend one leg out straight. Both hands on the bent leg. And alternate. Switching. And keep shrinking your star. All of the points. Feel those diagonal lines reaching down. The vertical and the horizontal. Transition to the double leg stretch. Take a moment to shrink the star in the center. And then reach away, arms and legs reach out, and inhale, they come back in. Exhale, extend the arms, reach the arms overhead, the legs out at 45 degrees. Inhale, circle the arms and bend the knees. Keep neutral the whole time. Exhale, reach out with arms and legs. Inhale, come back in last time. And go to the single straight leg. You're still shrinking your star. One leg up, one leg down. Gentle pull on the up leg, keep shrinking the star. And then both legs straight up, support your head, find your star again, and lower the legs down. Be sure that the center line, that vertical line, is not changing at all. As you lower down, it's not stretching. Your lower back should not arch. And as you come back up, the lower back should not be flattening. And keep that X nice and firmly reaching down towards those diagonals. Okay, let's go into the crisscross. We're still shrinking the star. Now you're going to feel one of the diagonals dominating and then the other. Okay, head down, hug the knees, relax the neck, relax the abdominal star. And we'll turn over to the belly. Arms extended straight out in front of you. Forehead on the mat, legs comfortable. Inhale there, picture the star. Exhale, shrink the star. Press gently down into your palms. Keep your elbows on the floor and raise the chest and head. The star is shrinking the whole time. And then relax and release. Feel how the star gently expands. Again, shrink the star. And then raise the chest and head. Draw the shoulders down the back. And then release. One more time. Exhale, shrink the star. And lift the chest and head. Now we're going to stay there. Keep shrinking your star and come to Sphinx. Pull your elbows underneath the shoulders. You're still shrinking the star. And one leg at a time. Bend at the knee for the single leg kick. Kick, kick. And kick, kick. Keep shrinking the star. It feels a lot different in this position, but we're still doing the same visualization. One more set. Now keep shrinking the star and tuck your toes under. And then press into the forearms and lift yourself up into a plank and keep shrinking the star and move forward and back. In your plank, shrinking the star. Now keep shrinking the star. Bring your knees to the floor and we're going to come up to all fours. On all fours, once you're in all fours, you can relax. Take a moment. Inhale, picture the star. Exhale, shrink it, and then tuck your tail and move your hips back to your heels. Bend your elbows and release towards a child's pose. And come up onto all fours. Let the belly relax. And then shrink the star and then tilt the pelvis, move the hips back, relax the neck and shoulders. Bring your hips to your heels, upper body easy in the child's pose. One more time. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, shrink the star. And move the hips back to the heels. Okay, stay there and take a breath in. Exhale, shrink the star. Keep it shrinking and inhale, lift your hands up off the mat. Stand up tall on the knees. And then relax your arms down by your sides. And then shrink the star again. Bring yourself up to standing. So I mentioned during the class that you can use your star in any position, any activity, which is true. And it's a great way to remember to use your abdominals if you're trying to do something. So let's try it standing up. So picture the star, the asterisk, all the points. Inhale. And exhale, shrink all the points to the center. Keep the center low. That making sure you're getting your low transversus fibers. And relax with the inhale. Picture the star, and again, exhale, shrink it towards its center. And then relax with the inhale. Picture the star and do it one more time. Exhale, shrink it down. And then relax. All right, so I leave you there, but I definitely invite you to think of it during the day. Think of it when you're walking or if you're doing a chore, or just, you can do it sitting in a chair. Whatever you're doing, you can be strengthening your abdominals by using that visualization. All right, so that's it, the abdominal star. Thank you. Hey, Tracy and Victor. Good morning, everybody. Take good care. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye.